When most people think November means the end of gardening season, they couldn't be more wrong, because while everyone else is putting their tools away, the smartest gardeners are quietly planting the crops that will keep feeding them for years. These aren't your usual seasonal veggies. These are perennials, plants that come back stronger every year without replanting. But here's the catch. If you don't plant them this month, you'll have to wait an entire year to try again. Welcome back to Purely Garden, the channel where we turn simple gardening into lifelong abundance. If you believe in working smarter, not harder, hit that like button and subscribe, because today we're counting down 15 perennial crops you must plant in November, or you'll regret missing your chance. Let's get started. Number 1. Asparagus. Asparagus is one of those rare crops that rewards patience like nothing else in the garden. It takes a little time to establish, but once it does, you'll harvest tender green spears every spring for up to 2 decades. November is the perfect time to plant asparagus crowns because the soil is cool and moist, encouraging the roots to settle in quietly through winter. By the time spring arrives, your plants will be strong, ready to send up their first shoots as the ground warms. Think of it as planting a long-term investment that pays you back year after year with almost no extra effort. To grow the best asparagus, choose a sunny spot with loose, well-drained soil rich in organic matter. Dig trenches about a foot wide and deep, spreading the roots like a fan before covering them with soil. Add compost each year and keep the bed free from weeds. Asparagus hates competition. Be patient and resist harvesting in the first season to let the plants build energy. After that, you'll have a self-sustaining crop that returns every spring, stronger and more abundant than before. Number 2. Rhubarb. Rhubarb is a tough perennial that thrives in cool weather, making November an excellent time to plant it. By getting it into the ground now, you give the roots a chance to establish before the deep cold sets in. When spring comes, those roots will already be strong and ready to push out thick, ruby-red stalks. Rhubarb loves full sun and fertile, well-drained soil, and it performs best when planted from crowns rather than seeds. Once settled, it can live and produce for over a decade with minimal care, making it one of the most rewarding crops you can grow long-term. The key to happy rhubarb is space and moisture. Each plant needs room to spread, and consistent watering in its early months helps it anchor deeply. Add compost or well-rotted manure before planting to enrich the soil, and top dress with mulch to retain moisture and suppress weeds. Avoid harvesting in the first year. Give the plant time to build strength. By the following season, you'll be slicing those tart, vibrant stalks for pies, jams, and sauces straight from your own garden. Number 3. Garlic. Garlic might seem like an annual crop, but when planted at the right time, it behaves just like a perennial powerhouse. November planting allows the cloves to establish roots before the soil freezes, setting the stage for robust growth once spring warmth returns. Each clove you plant now will quietly work underground all winter, building strength for a big harvest of bulbs in early summer. The secret to great garlic lies in timing and soil preparation. Cool soil, good drainage, and rich organic matter are its best friends. To plant, break apart a healthy bulb into individual cloves and place them pointed side up, about 2 inches deep and 4 inches apart. Mulch heavily with straw or leaves to protect them from frost and weeds. Come spring, you'll see strong green shoots pushing through, ready to produce full, flavorful heads by midsummer. If you leave a few bulbs in the ground, they'll multiply naturally and create a self-sustaining garlic patch, the true mark of a smart gardener who plants once and harvests forever. Number 4. Jerusalem artichoke, also known as sunchoke. This is one of those crops that practically takes care of itself once planted. Jerusalem artichokes grow from tubers, much like potatoes, but instead of needing replanting each year, they return on their own. November is the ideal time to get them into the soil. Cool temperatures help them settle, and the coming winter moisture encourages strong root growth. By spring, they'll send up tall, sunflower-like stalks that not only look beautiful but also produce an underground bounty of nutty, crisp tubers. Plant the tubers about 4 inches deep in loose, well-drained soil with plenty of organic matter. Choose a spot where they can spread because sunchokes can be enthusiastic growers, even a bit invasive if left unchecked. Once they're established, You'll never have to worry about replanting, just dig up what you need, and let the rest keep multiplying. Besides being delicious roasted, sautéed, or eaten raw, they also improve soil structure naturally, making them an excellent choice for any long-term garden. Number 5. Horseradish. Horseradish is one of those crops that quietly thrives beneath the soil and rewards you with intense flavor year after year. Planting in November gives the roots time to establish before winter sets in, and the cold actually helps develop that sharp, spicy bite we love. This hardy perennial doesn't mind frost at all. In fact, it seems to enjoy it. Once it's settled, horseradish can produce for decades with barely any attention, making it a perfect plant-and-forget crop for the corner of your garden. To grow it, start with root cuttings about the size of a pencil. Plant them at an angle in loose, fertile soil so new shoots can develop along the length of the root. Give it a dedicated space, because horseradish spreads aggressively and can quickly take over nearby beds. Each fall, dig up some roots for your kitchen, then leave a few pieces behind to regrow next year's crop. The more established it gets, the more pungent and flavorful the roots become, a true reward for gardeners who think long-term. Number 6. Egyptian walking onions. These fascinating onions are nature's definition of self-reliance. Once planted, they practically take care of themselves. Unlike regular onions that need replanting each year, Egyptian walking onions keep multiplying. In late fall, they focus on building strong underground bulbs that will shoot up early in spring. By summer, the tops produce small bulb clusters that bend over and walk themselves into new soil, creating a self-spreading onion patch that can last for decades. Plant the sets or bulbs in November about 2 inches deep and 6 inches apart, in rich, well-drained soil. Mulch lightly to protect them through winter, and by early spring, you'll see sturdy green shoots ready for harvest. You can use both the greens and the bulbs in your cooking. They taste like a mix between scallions and regular onions, with a hint of sharpness. Once established, you'll never have to buy onion sets again. Your garden will literally replant them for you year after year. Number 7. Globe artichoke. Globe artichokes are not just beautiful plants, they're also a long-lasting food source that can produce for up to 5 years. November planting gives them the best possible start because the cool weather encourages root development without the stress of summer heat. Over winter, the roots strengthen underground, preparing to send up vigorous shoots in spring. By the time warm weather arrives, you'll have strong, healthy plants ready to deliver their first harvest of tender, flavorful buds. To grow them successfully, choose a sunny, sheltered spot with fertile, well-drained soil. Mix in plenty of compost before planting, and make sure to space them about 3 feet apart since they grow large. In colder climates, protect young plants with a thick layer of mulch or straw to help them survive frost. With just a little care in their first season, globe artichokes will reward you for years, producing gorgeous edible buds that look as good on the plant as they taste on your plate. Number 8. Chives. Chives are one of the easiest and most rewarding perennial herbs you can grow. Planting them in November gives their roots time to settle and strengthens them for an early spring comeback. Even in the cold, chives quietly prepare underground, ready to burst back with fresh green shoots as soon as the weather warms. Once established, they'll return every year thicker and more productive, adding flavor to your kitchen and beauty to your garden with their purple, bee-attracting flowers. They thrive in full sun and moist, well-drained soil. You can start with clumps divided from mature plants or sow seeds directly into the ground. Space them about 6 inches apart and water regularly while they're establishing. After that, chives are nearly maintenance-free. Just trim them often to encourage new growth. With every cut, they'll regrow stronger, giving you a fresh, steady supply of onion-flavored greens season after season. Number 9. Sorrel. Sorrel is a tangy lemon-flavored green that's perfect for early spring harvests, and November is the ideal time to plant it. By getting it into the ground now, the roots have plenty of time to establish before winter fully sets in, giving you a head start when the first shoots emerge. Once mature, sorrel is incredibly productive and can keep producing leaves for several years with minimal care, making it a fantastic addition to any perennial garden. Plant sorrel in a sunny or partially shaded spot with well-drained, fertile soil. Space the plants about a foot apart to allow room for growth, and water them well during establishment. Cut the leaves regularly once they appear, which encourages continued production. Its sharp lemony flavor makes it perfect for soups, salads, sauces, and even smoothies, giving you a versatile, long-lasting green straight from your garden year after year. Number 10. Lovage. Lovage is a robust, celery-flavored perennial herb that can grow for decades once established. Planting it in November gives the roots time to settle and develop strength through the winter, so by spring you'll have tall, vigorous plants ready to provide an abundance of flavorful stems and leaves. Strong, aromatic foliage isn't just tasty, it also attracts beneficial insects and can improve the overall health of your garden. Choose a sunny or lightly shaded spot with rich, well-drained soil, and give each plant plenty of space, as lovage can grow quite large. Water it regularly while it's establishing, and consider mulching to protect young roots from harsh winter conditions. Once mature, you can harvest leaves for soups, stocks, and stews throughout the growing season. With minimal maintenance, lovage will continue to return year after year, making it a truly reliable perennial for any kitchen garden. Number 11. Comfrey. Comfrey is a powerhouse perennial that's a must-have for any long-term garden. While not typically eaten, it's invaluable for improving soil health, producing nutrient-rich mulch, and creating liquid fertilizer. Planting comfrey in November allows its deep roots to establish over the winter, giving it a strong start for vigorous growth in spring. Once established, it's nearly indestructible and will keep coming back year after year with minimal care. To grow comfrey, plant root cuttings or young plants in well-drained soil with plenty of organic matter. Give each plant space to spread, as comfrey can grow quite large and quickly fill its designated area. Throughout the growing season, you can regularly cut the leaves to use as mulch or compost activator, and they'll regrow quickly, providing a renewable source of garden fertility. It's a perfect example of a perennial that keeps giving, supporting both your plants and your soil for years to come. Number 12. Sea kale. Sea kale is a hardy coastal perennial vegetable that's often overlooked but well worth growing. Planting it in November gives the roots time to establish before winter, ensuring strong growth and tender shoots come spring. Its young leaves and shoots are edible, tasting similar to asparagus, while the mature foliage can also be used to improve soil or feed livestock. With minimal maintenance, sea kale can thrive for many years, making it a valuable addition to a long-term food garden. Choose a sunny, well-drained location, ideally with some protection from harsh winds. Plant the crowns or seedlings a few inches deep, spacing them about 2 feet apart to allow room for growth. Mulch around the base to retain moisture and protect from frost. Once established, it will reward you with nutritious perennial greens year after year, offering both culinary and ecological benefits to your garden. Number 13. Good King Henry. Good King Henry is a classic, old-fashioned perennial green that's both hardy and versatile. Planting it in November allows its roots to establish before winter, so when spring arrives, you'll have strong early shoots ready to harvest. Its leaves are rich in vitamins and minerals, making it a fantastic addition to soups, stews, and salads, and it will keep producing for many years with very little maintenance. For best results, choose a sunny or lightly shaded spot with well-drained, fertile soil. Space the plants about a foot apart to give them room to spread, and water them during establishment to encourage deep root growth. Once settled, Good King Henry will return reliably every year, providing a nutritious and low-maintenance perennial green that rewards patience and foresight in your garden. Number 14. French sorrel. French sorrel is a tender perennial leafy green that's prized for its sharp lemony flavor. Unlike regular sorrel, it remains productive longer into the summer, making it an excellent choice for a continuous harvest. Planting it in November allows the roots to establish before the winter chill, so by early spring, you'll see vigorous growth and a plentiful supply of flavorful leaves ready for the kitchen. Plant French sorrel in well-drained, fertile soil with full to partial sun, spacing plants about a foot apart. Regular harvesting encourages new growth, while cutting back in the fall helps the plant store energy for the next season. Once established, French sorrel is nearly maintenance-free and will reliably return year after year, giving you a tangy, nutrient-rich green to enjoy in salads, soups, sauces, and more. Number 15. Sage. Sage is a hardy, aromatic perennial herb that can thrive for many years once established. Planting it in November gives the roots time to settle before winter, ensuring strong growth and a robust plant come spring. Its fragrant leaves are not only a staple in the kitchen for seasoning meats, sauces, and stuffings, but they also attract beneficial insects and add structure to your perennial herb garden. Choose a sunny spot with well-drained soil, as sage doesn't like wet feet. Space plants about 18 to 24 inches apart to allow room for their bushy growth. Mulch lightly in colder regions to protect young roots from frost. Once established, sage requires very little maintenance, just occasional pruning to keep it compact, and it will return year after year, providing a steady supply of flavorful leaves and enhancing your garden's beauty and resilience. And there you have it, 15 perennial crops that deserve a spot in your November garden. While many gardeners are winding down for the season, you've learned how to get a head start on crops that will keep returning year after year. From asparagus and rhubarb to sage and French sorrel, each of these plants is an investment in a future harvest that saves time, effort, and money, while rewarding you with fresh homegrown produce season after season. Planting now means your garden will be ready to burst to life in spring, giving you a strong and productive start that lasts for years. Remember, the key to perennial gardening is patience and preparation. Give your plants the right conditions now, rich soil, proper spacing, and winter protection where needed, and they'll repay you with abundance for decades. These aren't just short-term crops, they're long-term companions for your garden, quietly growing stronger and more productive each year. By planting in November, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of easier, more sustainable harvests. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Purely Garden for more timeless gardening wisdom. Share this video with a friend who loves gardening or wants to start a long-term food garden of their own. And as always, keep planting with purpose, watch your garden grow, and enjoy the rewards that come from thinking ahead, because the best gardens are the ones that keep giving year after year.